Hey guys, welcome to
The Ride Home.
And I'm Daniel.
I'm Trip.
And I'm Mitch.
Today we're just continuing on as we talk about our testimonies. Today we're going to jump into Mitch's testimony.
Woo!
It's going to be super cool.
Oh, yeah.
But first, Mitch has something he wants to do. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah. Well, I saw this question, and I've been thinking about it all week, and I've kind of made up some answers, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion. Like, we can debate this.
Okay.
So, theoretically, hypothetically, the USA wants to get rid of 5 states. Which 5 are we cutting?
5 states.
Definitely Kentucky.
What?
I don't know.
That was
Okay.
really quick.
I think the easiest answers, we take North and South Dakota, combine them. We take North and South Virginia, or
South
Carolina, and combine them. That's 2 done with.
I mean, he could.
Or are we just getting rid of them? Like,
Yeah,
is
they're gone.
Like the whole state we're giving to another country?
Yeah, we're just like scooping them up and dropping them off somewhere.
That changes things.
It does. It's more about just who you don't like.
Who we don't like? Well, Maryland.
Exactly.
Maryland's
number one.
Number one, Maryland's gone.
California's the second one.
California. Okay.
It's like Southern California, but we can't cut it in half.
Yeah, like Northern Carolina. I like grapes.
There's like Yosemite and big trees.
Big trees, Yosemite, and grapes. That's all up north. We lose that.
So
True.
I say put a pin in California.
Yeah, we put that to the side. Definitely Maryland, though.
Definitely Maryland. I think North Dakota, probably one of the most boring states.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry, North
we can
Dakota.
throw Utah in.
Utah's pretty boring.
I don't know. It has to be.
It
They
has
got a Salt
7
Lake. That's
national
their-
parks.
I mean,
I like nature, but
but do you like
Yeah,
a
no.
Salt Lake?
I say Florida.
It's like the ocean, but sad.
I guess.
Like,
What'd you?
Florida.
Florida?
I feel like that's one of our national
That's
treasures.
where the zombies are born down there.
Are you talking
You ever
about
hear that story?
crocodiles? Or
Oh, yeah,
alligators?
crocodiles. Yeah, yeah. Got the crocodile issue down there. You know what I mean?
We have American alligators. But
Yeah, it's alligator. Crocodiles are in Africa.
Sorry, my bad. I'm not correct.
Anyways.
Oh, wait. Well, why Florida?
Huh?
Why Florida?
It's
Because of
like
the alligators?
warm. There's beaches.
Well, the
Key West.
crocodiles.
Just get rid of its soul. There's okay.
I mean, I guess Florida man is a
Yeah.
threat to the everything.
That's true.
The guy that eat
headlines.
that
We'd lose a
person's
lot of
face off?
headlines.
Yeah. What?
You didn't hear about that years ago?
What?
There's so many Florida man stories. I couldn't possibly keep up with one specific one.
Absolutely.
You don't forget that one.
Well, hear me out.
Bath salts.
Rhode Island. It's the size of a county.
Yeah,
Do we need it?
no.
I don't
I
know
don't think we
anything
do.
about Rhode Island.
Yeah, I say that's fine. So Rhode Island,
Rhode
North
Island.
Dakota,
Maryland.
Maryland.
And now it gets hard.
Yeah, I think we should keep Florida.
I do too.
I actually have to travel to
Alright.
Florida for like
Disney
3.5
World.
months. Disney World.
I've never been to Disney World.
I have been. It's a lovely time. It's better than you think.
And we can't cut around areas, right?
No, it has to be the whole state.
Yeah. Dang it. Missouri? It's Missouri? I mean, do we just... I
Missouri?
hate to get rid of all of the Midwest, not the Northwest.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean,
But, I mean, it is just corn. It's a lot of corn. So is Kansas and all those.
yeah.
It's corn.
What if a curveball? We're in West Virginia. What if we leave the U.S., start our own deal?
Wow. I'm just so proud of it, but I didn't
That's
think of it
interesting.
that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we could do something here.
It changes everything because I'm not bringing Maryland with us.
Oh, that's true.
So then it's a whole new list.
Yeah.
Then you're just picking your favorite 5 states.
Okay. We don't conclude that. So I don't know. I mean,
Well, we have 3 solid, I think.
yeah. Right. Maryland, North Dakota,
And Rhode Island.
and Rhode Island.
Just because it's small. Sorry, Rhode Island. I
Okay.
don't really have anything against you.
Maybe Oregon.
Oregon?
I mean, I've never heard anything about Oregon ever. So sure.
The Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, they're not winning.
They're going to lose in the playoffs.
They're not winning the March
Oh, you're
Madness.
talking about the March Madness.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
they're out.
Okay.
I mean-
So the state's got to go then.
Okay. Fair enough. Oregon's gone. We got one state left. Man.
There's a lot of tiny ones in the Northeast. There's a lot of boring ones in the Midwest.
I say we go radical.
Okay.
Okay. Big controversial decision. we get rid of New York.
Ooh.
I thought about that, but
Hear me out. Hear
Yeah.
me out. Then it becomes more of a travel destination, right? Like it's let's leave. Like New York's close enough we could drive there in a day.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you guys want to? Hey, when my daughter's a little old, it's like, hey, want to take a road trip to another country?
Oh, because it just
Now we're
cuts
just driving
out-
up to New York. We're in a whole different country. Now,
No.
I mean,
I
we
see
could drive
that.
a couple more hours and be in Canada. But who wants to go to Canada?
I mean, I'm fine. I have nothing to
Niagara
defend
Falls.
New York.
That's in the U.S. too. You can go up to
But
New York.
I've
Niagara
heard it's
Falls.
prettier on the Canadian side.
That's right. I've actually been to Montreal. It's a beautiful city.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, I think that's a good.
So you guys just want to get rid of New York?
Yeah, for no real reason.
Just because New York? Sorry, you caught a stray.
Yeah.
Sorry, family members. that
Liberty
live
is
up there.
going with it.
Statue of Liberty. See you later. We
Grandma,
really
if you're
want that
watching
kid.
this, I'm sorry. This wasn't my decision.
We got family in New York.
It was 2-1, so I'm
The
sorry.
Yankees, the New York Giants,
The Mets.
the Mets,
They're gonna
all
have to all
gone.
play in the Canadian League. So
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh boy.
The New York Islanders gone. Gone.
Man.
Well, that was not really where I expected it to go. I
No.
thought we were just gonna get rid of the Midwest, pretty much.
And that'd be too easy. You gotta
You guys,
spice it up.
yeah.
I'm glad we're on board with Maryland. That's the only one I cared about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, anyone listening from Maryland. Just get rid of your traffic cameras
Yeah. It's just
and stop passing people in the shoulder.
their roads just make me sad. Their people. But you know what? Old Bay is delicious.
No.
And I stand with
Oh,
you.
sorry.
I stand with you, Maryland, on the Old Bay issue. That's about it.
I'm not an Old Bay guy.
No?
I think
I kind of married into it. Now, I'm not as much as my wife is. My wife will take like a whole can of it and put it on her popcorn. And it's like,
wow.
it's to the point where it's disgusting, but she loves it. So,
Okay.
Can I get some Old Bay or can I get some popcorn with an Old Bay can? Huh?
I made
Sorry,
it.
Emma.
How about
Okay.
that? Well, you guys want to hear my testimony?
I'm ready for
Let's
it.
hit it.
Sure. So I was trying to think about what I was going to say or how I'd start, and I was like, man, my testimony is kind of like boring or just plain. And I had to remind myself that like everyone's testimony is important. Can be like one of the greatest tools God gives us to witness or encourage people. So people listening may have a similar testimony or like a structure that I have. So just know that your testimony is important. So I'm going to share mine with you guys, and feel free to chime in whenever you want. But
We will.
good.
Yeah.
I hope. It starts being born into a Christian home. So, born into a Christian family, my extended family as well. I was surrounded just by an encouraging family that went to church every Sunday. We prayed before meals. We did family devotion in the evenings most nights growing up. And that was just normal, I guess. It was what I known my whole life. I accepted Christ at a young age. It was at a church concert. I was probably like 7, maybe. And I remember them asking if anyone wanted to accept Christ. And I don't remember if a lot of people went or if an adult asked me if that was something I wanted to do. I just remember thinking, like, yeah, I believe that. So I might as well just go off to the side with a leader and
Yeah.
declare that, right? It wasn't really like
Crazy, yeah.
a special moment, you know?
Yeah.
Like nothing changed after. I was more excited to get like a free Bible. Right? I was like, sweet,
Yeah.
it's a Bible.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, like, I was in a radically different, like, we already talked about that.
Yeah.
That was not a situation. But, like, I would go to, like, booths and stuff at, like, the county fair and get the free Bible. Like, that was still exciting.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to read it, but, like, I was getting those, too. So I can only imagine, like,
Yeah, this was a high quality. I think I had like a kid's Bible and it had pictures in it. So this was like a real Bible. I was like, all right, sweet. Upgrading in life here. But yeah, life didn't really like change for me after that. It was pretty much looked the same. Yeah, so I go on to middle school, and that's probably when you like start hearing about things you'd never heard of before. I had a pretty sheltered childhood up until that point. Kids start talking about wild things you
Yeah.
didn't know you
Yeah.
existed. Discovered pornography at that time, but at the same time, I was still like a really good kid, had great grades, followed all the rules, went to church still, prayed regularly, and I thought everything was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to that, I would even think like to the average person, like like that doesn't sound like anything bad's happening there or anything.
Right, right. So I get to high school, and I guess my grandma noticed something was not right. Maybe that I didn't have like a fire in me or a desire to know the Lord. I knew about the Lord. I knew a lot of the Bible stories, but I wasn't seeking him out. And she must have noticed that somehow. I didn't notice it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But she really wanted me to go on a mission trip, a youth mission trip. And I did not want to go. So I grew up in Slainsville, West Virginia, and we went to church in Winchester. It's not super far, about 35, 40 minutes, but my parents weren't going to take me down on Wednesday nights for youth group.
Yeah.
So we only went on Sundays. And so a lot of those kids at church were homeschool or they went to school together. So they all knew each other. So, I had a couple acquaintances, but I wouldn't say we were like friends. We never hung out besides Sunday morning for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I did not want to go because, I was shy. But she paid the way, so then I was stuck going. It wasn't a big abroad trip. We went to Philippi, West Virginia.
Okay.
And while we were there, we spent a week there doing service projects during the day. So like cleaning out garages and gutters for some elderly people. We did some painting at a church, things like that. And then in the evening, we did a VBS for a church that we were partnered with. And that was a great experience. I'm so glad I went.
What is a VBS?
A vacation Bible school.
Okay.
So we were all high schoolers, and so we were helping this church do a vacation Bible school for elementary school kids.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. I got to help with games, and that trip really helped me come out of my shell, for one. The other youth I was with got to know me really well. And we would stay up really late playing Ghosts in the Graveyard and sardines in the church. It was awesome. Some great memories. And then I also discovered like how much I really enjoyed helping people. I got to connect with one youth specifically, or child, I guess. He was a fourth grader. And I saw him sitting by himself at VBS the first night. And I sat with him during the snack and was trying to connect with him over and over again. I was like, so what you into? I was like, I like football. I don't know, I was into running. I was a cross-country runner and stuff in high school, talking about sports. And finally, I mentioned like video games. I was a pretty big COD player back in the day. Yeah.
Weren't we all?
Yeah.
This is the glory days.
Exactly.
Black Ops 2.
MW3, I was going crazy at the time. But he like perked up when I mentioned that. And I was like, oh, you into Madden or Call of Duty? He's like, eh. I was like, what about, I'm trying to think of what's popular. I was like, Pokemon? And he's like, oh, yes. Now, I don't know about Pokemon, but I know about video games. So then we just spent like an hour talking about video games, like the joy of beating a game followed by like the despair of that it's over and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we connected, and the end of the week, he tried to give me like $20 for coming. I was like, you can't buy my friendship. Like, I was just so honored because I was like, man, I made like a big connection with this kid. And it was just like a great feeling.
I'm sure he felt the same way.
Yeah. I hope he's doing well out there. Yeah. But I also got to see like the other high schoolers I was with, like pray aloud and find Bible verses on their own and stuff. And I was like, wow, these guys know God. Like I could tell they had like a deep relationship with God. And that was like convicting and encouraging to me. So that trip was great. And that was kind of like a turning point in my faith, I guess. I was more motivated after that to seek the Lord out on my own. I thought you were going to say something.
No.
You were just doing a weird thing with your lip. kind of threw me off there.
Expect unexpected.
Okay, it will do. Yeah, but I tried to get involved at church. After that, I tried to read my Bible some, and those things were hard. Doing it kind of for the first time. Church, because we live so far away. So I was only able to get involved in a limited capacity. And then reading the Word is difficult. Even though I was not a new believer, I'd never studied the Bible on my own. So I feel like I'm just reading these words. I'm like, well, this makes no sense. I'm like, but at least I read it. And there's some truth to that. But I needed like a group to help me come along more. So
at this time, sorry, real quick. Did you ever think about like going to a local church or like to help in other capacities? I know your family goes to that, the church in Winchester, you said, but like during the week, was there another church you could have gone to for like a youth experience, or is that not something you're interested in? Or
yeah, honestly, never was something I like crossed my mind or considered. I was like pretty proud of our church for some reason.
I mean, that's good though.
Yeah. But I also did sports, so I was like with that group in the evenings, and I worked a job in high school, so I felt like my evenings during the week were usually pretty booked up. Not a great excuse, but that was the truth.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the story through high school. My grandmother ended up, that pushed me through. I'm sorry. She, this is going to sound so wrong to those that are listening.
Yeah, so when
A little behind the scenes.
before we started, I said something like, "Oh, like, do we want to start with the what do we want to talk about or end with it?" I'm like, "Well, did something tragic happen? Like someone die or anything?" At the end,
I was like, "Yeah, someone does die."
it's like, "Oh, perfect."
Chip was excited,
But
so he just
obviously, I'm not excited they passed away. But
yeah. Spoiler, I guess. Yeah, the grandma that sent me on the mission trip passed away right before I went to college, and that was a super hard time. It's not funny.
it's not. It's
No, we just kept giving each other a weird look. It was a hard time. I had a high school girlfriend at the time too. We were dating all through high school, and we went to separate colleges. Now, I'll have you know, we won homecoming king and queen, and we were voted the high school yearbook best couple. So
wow,
we were meant to be, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
So I go to college. I went to Shepherd, and she went to a different school on a cross-country scholarship. And that didn't work out. She ended up breaking up with me in my freshman year. So, yeah, another man. Yeah. It happens.
Wounded soldiers left and right.
Right.
It's always freshman year, too.
It is.
Freshman year. About halfway through, they're like, it's long distance
The first
thing.
semester or something?
Yeah,
First
it was
year?
like first or second semester. Yeah.
Yep. And you are in denial of it. Like, we're fine. But, yeah, once we came to that realization that we were done, it was definitely a low point in just life, I'd say.
Yeah.
Grandma passed away in the spring, and now I was going through this breakup. Who I thought the girl I was going to marry. You know, it sounds kind of silly now, but at the time I thought like she was the one.
Yeah.
And I was in college. Trip had a similar experience. I had one friend at college. We went to high school together, but he was in science, and I was studying social work, and he was. We just weren't like connecting super well in our free time.
Yeah.
Right. So I try to like change my personality, right?
Okay. That's
Never like what you do, but
no.
Yeah.
right. So I tried to change my personality. I started listening to different music because that's what everyone in my dormitory listened to. There's a lot of football players, so I got into hip hop music a lot, and I started going to the gym. I was like, I'm gonna get ripped. That's like one of like the three reactions every guy has to a breakup.
Yeah, we had a very parallel reaction to our breakups.
It's like you turn to like substance, you go to the gym, or you try to rebound after a breakup.
Yeah.
None of those are gonna fulfill you at
No.
all.
No.
But that's what I did.
The gym's definitely the healthiest option.
Yes, definitely. If you are gonna choose one, do the gym.
For sure.
Yeah. So I wasn't finding any fulfillment by the end of my first semester. But what I did see at the gym was this group of guys on like Tuesday nights lifting together. And they were different than everyone else at the gym. They were like laughing and they were talking to other people at the gym. They weren't like headphones in.
Okay.
And I noticed they were usually wearing like shirts with the similar logos, like a YL. And so I started like watching them. Small campus, I'd see them around on campus. And I noticed they had like tables set up sometimes. I'm like, okay, so they're like a group. And they were usually giving out like cereal or something really random.
Okay, so at this point, did you think this was like a bodybuilding group, or like did you just think they were just friends who also happened to be in this group?
No, I noticed like a joy from them, and I assumed they were probably Christians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of scouted them out. I was like, what kind of group is this, you know? I don't want to get into like some cult or something. So I just approached them at the gym one time and asked if like what Young Life was. And they told me it was a Christian group and they meet on Tuesday nights after they go to the gym. Like, that's kind of gross. They're like, yeah, we meet at 7:57 in this room. I'll see you there.
57.
Yeah, very specific.
Okay.
Don't be late.
I still remember. So I agreed to go, and I walk in, and this is now the spring, I guess, of my freshman year. And they're like,
Okay.
Mitchell, what's up? You came. I was just like, wow. I just briefly introduced myself. They knew my name.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that was like a great thing. We played this ridiculous game where like you had to pass an apple down the line and back, but you like had to pass it with your necks. So like you were doing like this weird.
What's your apple?
Yeah.
That would be difficult to do.
It was very awkward too.
Yeah.
Being
It's like your first night there, you've never met these people before. You just
getting really close with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awkward. But I kept going because they were super fun. We had a lesson after some crazy games. And then two of the guys just spent like an hour talking to me after a group. So that was awesome. Fast forward, I felt some convictions and I changed like the music I was listening to from the hip hop and rap to I discovered 116 Click as like Christian rappers.
Yeah.
Andy Mineo, Lecrae. I got super into those guys. Ended up seeing a lot of them in concerts and stuff over the years.
Yeah.
And then by the fall of my sophomore year, I was a Young Life leader.
Okay.
And I would consider this like one of the spiritual highs of my life. I got super into the Word. I was with those guys for a men's small group once a week. We were doing Young Life once a week. I was going to church on Sundays again rather than just staying on campus. I was driving into Winchester, or I was trying some of my friends' churches. I grew more friendships by meeting those guys, and people just wanted to have like spiritual conversations. It's really kind of crazy because grade school, no one wants to talk about religion.
Yeah.
In college, people are like trying things, discovering, I don't know, more open to like those kinds of conversations. So I was like having those kind of talks every other night, it seemed like. I ended up meeting my future wife in Young Life. She came in as a freshman while I was a leader at Young Life. And I was like, oh, she kind of nice. But but I think she has a boyfriend. Well, then she asked me to like go on a hike with her. And I was like, okay, sure. Thinking this was going to be like another one of those spiritual conversations because that's what had been happening a lot recently.
And you're like her leader at this point, right?
I am. I'm like the leader.
So it kind of seems like, oh, this is someone that like is trying to ask me for some spiritual advice or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that had happened a couple times recently. But then she's like, on the walk, she's like, so, what's your favorite color? And I was like, huh? So, we ended up hitting off really well and getting married, getting engaged while we were in school. And then after I had graduated, we got married while she had a year of school left.
That's exactly the same way me and my wife did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a majority of my testimony. Now there's always like ups and downs. Like you get in laws where you're not in the word. And I would say like I kind of fell into a law there for a while after college, because I wasn't plugged into church anymore. I was going to a church, but I wasn't being fed. We tried to get involved, and the group we were going to, we just weren't connecting well. Like people were in a different season of life.
Yeah.
I would say like another big point in my testimony, and I guess it's always ongoing, right?
Yeah.
Has been coming to Hope Community Church. It was kind of like re-sparked my drive to like know the Lord better. The pastor was great, and then I got involved in a young adult group where I met most of you silly people. And
most of the two of us.
Most of the time.
yeah,
I think I technically met you through youth before your adult group. I believe because I was really hesitant about going at first for whatever reason.
to youth.
No, to young adult group. I was going I was doing youth for a while before we started going. But for the young adult group, for whatever reason, like I was just really like I made a lot of excuses for that before I started going there. But,
Yeah, it's all kind of a blur because I was meeting everyone in different areas of the church. I didn't really know who did what or what anyone's name was, anybody's name was. But yeah, being at Hope has like helped me find that drive, I guess, to continue knowing the Lord better. I got involved with the youth, and that is like a great way to challenge yourself to be in the Word as well when you're preparing for lessons. Like, I'm going to teach this, so I need to be in the Word to know this. And then sparks my curiosity to go look in other parts of the Bible. So it's been great. So, yeah. Awesome. And it doesn't really have like a grand conclusion or anything. I mean, it's ongoing, right? So
I mean,
that's the kind of the most recent thing is being here and doing things like starting podcasts and
having babies.
Having babies. Yes, that's changed my life as well, having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Daniel? Cool.
I'm just thinking back on, hey, so with, people coming in your life and that too, with, spiritual talks and all that too. I've been finding that too recently, as our young adult group leader and also the youth leader coordinator for Hope Community Church, Pat. He's always telling us about how he always prays for opportunities, and when they arise, it's like sometimes you don't even realize it, and then all of a sudden, shoot, after that, it's like I should have capitalized on that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you miss it. And I've been finding that recently with my new job that I've taken, and my coworker. We're trying to talk to each other in the truck on the way to our job site.
Yeah.
And we got to talking about like trying to get to know each other a little bit more and stuff like that. And he kind of told me a little bit. He's like, he wasn't really religious and that, but he's had some past issues and that, and which a lot of people do. And that gave us a lot of course, going to the job site took like 20 or 30 minutes, so we had ample amount of time to talk about it. And so talking, that gave me the opportunity, like, even though I don't know everything and I'm still learning myself, catching back where I wasn't in church or anything for years, and I'm kind of going back through and trying to relearn everything, and it's like I don't even know what to tell him. And looking at it as like, okay, God, just give me the words, because my knowledge right now is shaky as I'm still trying to build it. But it's like, I know for a fact that if you want me to witness to him, it's like, just give me the words, which
it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think like going back to Mitch was saying earlier, like when he was younger, how he he knew the stories and stuff. I think it's way more important to have the relationship than the stories, because if you have the relationship, like you can still speak from your heart and speak testimony from like what you've seen God do versus what you've read about God doing, which I think is so much more powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're talking to someone who doesn't know the Lord, they don't believe the Bible, right? So telling them what's in the Bible isn't going to impact them as much as like what's actually happened to you, what you've seen the Lord do, like Tripp said.
Exactly. And that's a part of the reason why we're doing this too for you guys is to, let you guys know that you guys are not alone with this. We were once youth and, college, and which I didn't go to college, but
I mean,
it's all
same age. Like,
but yeah, high school and college.
Age,
And that's great because we've all had like slightly different walks, right? Different paths, and that's good. We need those perspectives.
Yeah. Everyone's had different walks, but like having those different views, like if we all grown up together, going to Mitch's church in Winchester, and then we all went to Shepherd together, and we'd have a lot less perspective than we do thanks to all of our diverse,
stuff.
getting here's.
But we gotta save Daniel's testimony for next episode, right?
Yeah, it's the best for last, huh?
Sure. It'll be a doozy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard Mitch's, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's the same here.
I'm excited. I'm not gonna mention anything, so I don't accidentally make any jokes about death for yours.
Yeah, that was the blooper of this episode.
If you guys could have seen us before we started recording.
My goodness. Yeah. Subscribe to our Patreon. No, we don't have Patreon.
Not yet.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was that it, guys?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you have anything else? Last minute testimony.
No, nothing's happened.
Nothing's changed?
Yeah. Nothing.
If you don't mind, we'll share. We will have a Instagram starting up here soon to share some, behind the scenes and stuff like that. Just personal videos that we share with each other.
Giving updates on like when we're releasing videos and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And we will also be releasing a YouTube as well to share.
Probably you're watching this.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
Super exciting.
But yeah,
do we have an @ for that Instagram yet?
At
the Ride Home Podcast.
There you go.
Yep.
That's right. At the Ride Home Podcast. Look us up. Either it'll be square.
That was lame. Cool.
But yeah, we're excited for this, and we hope you guys follow along in that and take away something from what we share with you guys, and
or don't.
It
doesn't bother me.
Hey,
okay.
If you're just here to laugh at us being stupid,
at
least you're here.
Exactly.
Or don't be.
I think we need to end it. We're just talking in circles.
Oh, good Lord.
Thanks for joining us on
The Ride Home. See ya.